Good morning, and welcome to the Creative Living Fellowship Sunday service. I'm so glad you're all here. Please stand and join us in our opening song, Holy, Holy Way. This is a call and response song led by Reverend Glenn Swain.
All right, good morning. Let me get going there for 16 measures, then we're gonna all sing together. We all know this one. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around me. Oh, let me know that love is all around me. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fall.
Let me learn from all the ways I fall.
Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fall.
Let me learn from all the ways I fall.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way. Thank you, Reverend Glenn. Thank you very much. So, welcome to Creative Living Fellowship, CLF. My name is Deborah Covington, and it is my honor to be the host today. I want to say hello to our online visitors. For those on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, we welcome you into our hearts. If this is your first time, we encourage you to sign up on our website for weekly emails. Also, if you leave a comment in the comment section, we can acknowledge your presence. Thank you for being here. For those of you here in presence, thank you. It's good to see you here every day, every Sunday. Okay, I don't see any first-time visitors here, so if there are any first-time visitors, you can sign up. But I do want to welcome back those two. There are two people who have returned who haven't been here for some time. That's Lori and Maureen Mo. Thank you for coming again. It's good to see you. Here's a reminder of who we are. Creative Living Fellowship is an independent religious science church, and we honor all paths that lead to truth. Our deep intention here is to be a community of love, care, and connection that opens hearts, expands consciousness, and transforms lives. And we do that through the principles and practices of the science of mind and spirit. The science of mind is a new thought, ancient wisdom teaching that provides us with tools for living our best possible lives. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, said, "Life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it." So here's a bit about the service today. Today, this is Practitioner Sunday, and that means that the service today will be brought to us by our very own practitioners. Reverend Mary Jayne Hyde, and also our animal chaplain practitioner, Fran Peck. Yes, we're thrilled to have them here today. It's going to be quite a treat. Our pre-service meditation in High Watch today has been held by CLF adjunct practitioner Elena Lerner. It's Larner, though, I believe. Larner. She facilitated our pre-service meditation, and she's holding High Watch, which means that she is sitting in meditation and prayerful contemplation, holding a space for the perfect unfoldment of this service. Thank you, Elena, for your continued service. Reverend Mary Jayne Hyde is serving as our practitioner of the day, as well as one of today's speakers. And she is also serving one of the speakers today, as I said, is practitioner Fran Peck. Mary Jayne will be offering our evocation. After that, it will be followed by our congregational chant, The World. And I know for those of us in here, most of us already know it, but there are a couple that don't. The words will be on the screen. It will be led once again by Reverend Glenn Swain. And this is an interactive song, so I encourage you to sing it with feeling and meaning. Reverend Glenn Swain will also be serving as our resident musician today and spiritual and musical inspiration. The lyrics will be on the screen for the chant. And after the chant, Reverend Mary Jayne will be back with the inspirational reading of the day. But right now, I want to welcome up Reverend Mary Jayne with our evocation.
Thank you, Deborah. And good morning. Okay, so if we can just get quiet, let go, and let's just be fully present here for the next few moments as we do the evocation. So, we know there is just one energy, one power, one presence, one source of all good in the universe, and that is God. Is God spirit, life, oneness, whatever we want to call it, that energy that is just for our good is God. And that is what is present. That energy is present here in this room. It's present in, through, and as me. As that same presence, that divine energy is present through each person here and each person within the sound of my voice. We are all individualized expressions of that one energy that is peace and love and harmony and joy. It is abundant flow. It is infinite resources, infinite knowledge. That is what is the divine part of us. It is our spirit. And that is present within each of us. And we are all united. We may be individualized, but we're all united in that one. And so, in this knowing, I simply accept that all is in divine order for this service. All is already done in the one mind. And so we all just show up and let it feed us, let it fill us up in the best way possible. I accept that. I accept that the divinely inspired message just flows through easily and effortlessly through both me and Fran. The song flows just beautifully through Reverend Glenn. Fellowship, camaraderie, all flows perfectly. I accept that, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for how we all show up as Creative Living Fellowship and how it feeds us and feeds the world. Thank you. I release, I let go, and together we say, and so it is.
All right, we're going to sing Reverend Sherry's song. It's called The World. If you don't know by now, the words will be up here. And it basically goes, it's very easy. The world is a place of great love for all. The world is a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. The world is a place of great peace. I am a place of great love for all. I am a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, I am a place of great peace. You are a place of great love for all. You are a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, you are a place of great peace. Are a place of great love for all. We are a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, we are a place of great peace. The world is a place of great peace.
The reading for today is I Let Prosperity Happen to Me. The thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness. The gates of my mind are ajar to let all the good there is come in and abide with me. Unlimited possibilities are offered to me by the mind that fashions all. My cup runneth over. The rich, prosperous ideas of God are incarnated in me, and I give them life and embodiment. I am the channel for God's flow of abundance. I now let prosperity happen. Every subconscious block to greater good is now destroyed by this treatment, which is the word of truth, capital T, truth. I am free of financial negatives once and for all. They do not exist in my thinking and cannot persist in my world. They have no place in God, and I refuse to harbor them. I'm free in finances. I have faith in plenty for all. I know that prosperity is where I am, and today it appears in my experience. I give thanks in advance for the unfolding, expanding richness of God's supply. I think prosperity. I act prosperity. I look prosperous. Raymond Charles Barker. Namaste.
You know, one of the first things we learn in this teaching is that there ain't no God out there. It's all around. We can find God in a child's smile or anywhere, anything that we're doing. You see God here right now. A beautiful reading by Mary Jayne. It's a song that touches on how we can find God just anywhere. The night I hit rock bottom, sitting on an old bar stool, he paid my tab and put me in a cab. He didn't have to. He could see I was hurting. I wish I'd got his name. I didn't feel like saving. He saved me just the same. That day out on the water, when the fish just wouldn't bite, I put my pole down and floated around. It was just so quiet, and I can hear my old man saying, son, just be still. can't find peace like this in a bottle or a pill. From a bar stool to the effing roof, Sunday morning in the church pew, in a deer stand or a hayfield, an interstate back to Nashville, Chevrolet with the windows down, me and him just driving around. And sometimes, whether I'm looking for him or not, and that's where I find God. Sometimes late at night, I lie there listening to the sound of her heart beating and the song the crickets are singing. I don't know what they're saying, but it sounds like a hymn to me. No, I ain't too good at praying, but thanks for everything. From a bar stool to that Evan roof, Sunday morning in the church pew, in a deer stand or a hayfield, an interstate back to Nashville, Chevrolet with the windows down, me and him just riding around talking, whether I'm looking for him or not. Looking for him or not, and that's where I find God.
Thank you, Reverend Glenn. That was very, very heartwarming. Good morning. I'm going to come out here because I don't like standing behind something. So good morning. We're talking about, the topic today is living in divine opulence. So the word opulent, now, I've had kind of a long-term relationship with it because I've always thought of opulent as something that was kind of just wasteful wealth, showy, vulgar. That's the kind of connotation it had for me. If as a somebody with a history degree, I think of things in history, and I would say the court of the Louis in France, the Louis the 14th, 15th, 16. They just had all this fabulous stuff, gold stuff, and lots of wealth. And it just seemed, that's what I would think of when I thought of opulence. So now we move forward, we're backward. 20 some years ago when I was in prac class, we were coming up with words that we wanted to use to manifest things in our life. And one of my classmates said opulent. They want an opulent life. And it just hit me. It hit me, and I was like, that doesn't resonate here. And so we talked about it, and we talked about what Ernest Holmes describes as opulence. And Ernest says it's abundant resources. And so we talked about, how to look at it differently. And I've spent time trying to adjust my thinking on that word. And so I even looked it up in the dictionary before today, and I found one definition that said abundant resources. And I said, yes, that's the one. That's the one. That's the definition that I choose. And if you put divine on it, with it, then it has to be, all those resources come from the divine. They all come from God. And of course, we live in an abundant universe. I mean, you just have to look outside to see that. Go to the grocery store, drive by a car, a car lot where they sell cars. There's an abundance of everything, and that is the universe that we live in. It is divine. I've been marveling at the abundance of leaves. When you look out, there's far too many than you can count. But I recently moved into my my family home. It's been in the family for many years, and I remodeled and moved back in after many years. But I spent 16 years living in a multi-level condo, off the ground. And now I have a backyard. And I moved in December, and the trees were all bare. And they were beautiful as they were. And I would look out at them, and it was really neat to be able to look out and, at the yard and see trees and nature. And I would look at the trees, and I thought the branches were beautiful. And then they started growing leaves. They started having these leaves spring up. And then I said, oh, they have another way to be beautiful. It's not that I don't know that, but I was experiencing it at depth with my backyard. And it's not just my trees, but the neighbors' trees, all springing forth with these green leaves. And I look out at that and I say, there's more leaves on my tree than I can count, much less all these others out there. And so it is an abundant universe, right? I mean, there's more than enough for everybody to even look at. And if we use leaves for something, there's more than enough for everybody. So living in the divine opulence is not just about things per se. It's also about living, there's an abundance of health, an abundance of friends, an abundance of good that is flowing around us and through us. Having an abundance of wealth by itself, it is good too. It can be. I mean, think of the things that we can do. We can help others with that. And so that is divine energy just flowing through us and back out. So for me, living in the divine opulence is about more than just the abundance, because we do live in an abundant universe, but it's knowing it, seeing it, experiencing it, feeling it, and enjoying it and being grateful for it. Otherwise, we're not really experiencing it, I don't think. If we can acknowledge it, then that's a starting point. And if we can enjoy it, and be in gratitude for it, then we're in that place of divine opulence, of really experiencing it and loving it, being it. And so that's kind of where I'm going with divine opulence these days. I have to, I started out with this one definition, and now I've moved to another. Experiencing divine opulence in terms of health. Okay, it's come up. So I will talk about that. So a little over a year ago, I was diagnosed with metastatic cancer. It's all over my spine and my hips and all over me, but it's not consuming me. It is, it's a fact. It was a fact. It's a fact that they found this and diagnosed it. And for the last year, I've been in treatment. I'm doing chemo, and I'm amazed because I feel better today than I did before I started the chemo. My tumor markers are all down to normal range. They've been that way for a few months. There was one month they spiked again, and then they went back down. My doctor says it's totally normal. So I'm living in opulent health. And for the most part, I have way more energy than I had before. and I feel much better. And it's, that's a gift. Thank you, God. I accept. And so that's experiencing divine opulence in another way. Being in my home again after, I grew up there, and then I always said once I left, I was never going back to that place ever. And yet somehow it ended up that I kept hanging on to it. I ended up owning it at some point, and I kept hanging on to it. I tried to sell it; it wouldn't sell. And so there I have it. And then one day I said, "What am I going to do with this?" And it just came to me that I was going to remodel it and move back in. And I was like, "Are you sure?" I really, didn't want to live there, but I'm in there, and it's beautiful, and I'm enjoying it, and I've made it mine, and I really am enjoying it, and so I feel that divine opulence in being able to experience that, and in a new way, and it's kind of healing. It's been healing for me and my family to be able to experience it in this new way, and enjoy it. And so that's another way that I'm experiencing divine opulence in my life and living it. Another way is my work. I love my job. Not every day, certainly not every day, but I love the work I do. I enjoy it. It's very rewarding for me in weird ways, but I enjoy it, and I go to, I'm excited to go to work. Last few months have been a little bit of a challenge. It's been a lot. We're working on a very big project, and there's a lot of demands, and it's been challenging, but I still enjoy going to work, and I feel like that is a gift. What a gift! Because I've worked in places where where I really think the cancer started. Because it was such a horrible atmosphere, and when it's like, why didn't I leave? Why didn't I leave that horrible atmosphere instead of letting it affect me in my health? But I didn't. I felt like I felt some sense of responsibility, and so I stayed in it. But then to go from that into a place that I love to work and enjoy the people. I'm working with people that I worked with at other places where we really enjoyed our work, and I get to work with other people who who I know and enjoy, and keep me on track sometimes. And so it's this is living in opulence for me. And so that's what I wanted to share about. I want to talk about stuff that I know that I experience, and that's how I experience it. And so now I'm going to turn this over to Miss Fran.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Yeah, what the reason she looked at me is because we work together. So so I'm experiencing a lot of the same stuff she's experiencing. When Mary Jane came up with this topic, a gift of divine opulence, I said, that is perfect. That is absolutely perfect for Prac Sunday, because we get to share with you how opulence shows up in our lives. And so I'm going to address how opulence shows up in my life, the gifts of divine opulence, as time, talent, and treasure. Just the ability and the freedom to freely give of my time to things that I love, including this community, by the way, and the ability and the freedom to freely give of my talents, whatever those are. Okay, we know that they're not singing, but as I was sitting here, preparing for this talk, I was like, so what talent do I have, right? Well, commitment, showing up, intentionally being present every week, whenever I'm called, saying yes. And for me, that is a gift, because I'm able to do that. I'm able to do that. I'm able to do that with the community, this community, the greater community at large, our animal companions. And for me, that's a blessing. That's a gift. And then the freedom and the ability to give of my treasure, to freely give of my treasure to this community, to the greater community, to my animal companions, to other people's animal companions. And so for me, that is a gift. That is truly a gift. Mary Jayne was talking about health challenges. A few months ago, I experienced a health challenge that really sort of threw me for a loop. And once I got to the doctor and we got the process started, we discovered that a condition that we've been treating for more than 20 years is a different condition, is not only treatable, but essentially curable with a pill a day. Okay? So that's a gift, right? And that's a gift that I recognize from spirit. And then I'm going to add a fourth, so that there's 3 T's there, right? Time, talent, and treasure. I'm going to add a fourth T, and that's truth. That's the mystery of truth. It's the mystery of standing in my truth. When the appearance of things, facts, may not quite fit with what my concept of truth should be, right? And when I say truth, I'm talking about with a capital T, okay? God. God is right in the middle of everything, everywhere present. And so as I was thinking about that, y'all know I'm an animal chaplain, and I have my own fur babies. My son just experienced a health challenge a couple of months ago that I got the phone call from him as I was leaving the veterinarian, helping my little old honey cross the Rainbow Bridge. And I'm like, really, God? Seriously? You're going to hit me with this now? Right? That was a Tuesday. He had to have 2 surgeries. My son had to have 2 surgeries. They scheduled one on Friday, the second one on the following Friday. Okay? And what I was able to do with these teachings and these practices was stand in the truth that I know. And that is God is in the midst of it. So the universe is funny. It never lets one fur baby go without making sure I have a replacement fur baby. God's so funny that way. And so a while back, God brought me another honey-colored dog. The cutest honey-colored dog. And he's like, I got this, Mom. Okay. So before I could even pick up Honey's beds, he took over Honey's beds. He's like, no. These need to be held down, and I can hold these down for you. Okay. So let me do this. Let me do this. I got this. And as I was watching him this week, again, preparing for this message, I was like, God is just so cool, right? I mean, God brought me exactly what I needed, exactly when I needed it. And I was fostering him. He became a foster fail. Okay. my son knew that was going to happen, but he became a foster fail, and he's now an adopted. He has a forever home. And he has his own 3 beds and 4 blankies. So he's as spoiled as everybody else. But what I realized is, as all of these things were happening, I was able to stand in the truth with a capital T that I know, and that is God is ever present. God is right in the midst. I like Reverend Sherry's Dr. Seuss, there's no spot where God is not. And so I just leaned into that, and throughout all of my experience here as a practitioner and as an animal chaplain, what I realized is taking advantage of the classes, taking advantage of the practices, taking advantage of book study on Saturday mornings, all of those things help to build my spiritual muscle so that I was able and willing to say yes to all of those things, to just say yes to God and be what God needed me to be, needs me to be, where God needs me to be. And so I invite you, as you go through your week this week, look at where the gift of divine opulence shows up in your life. Just lean into that. Lean into that knowing. I'm always amazed that Ernest Holmes wrote a whole library of books, all on one premise: God is. 2 words, God is. And he has an entire library. We do a different book, for book study, Ernest Holmes book study, and I'm amazed at how many books he wrote and says God is in every single one of them the same way. So as I invite you to think about this week, and I invite you to think about where in your life divine opulence shows up. And sometimes it's just a matter of changing perception, just changing perception a little bit. It's like, oh, that could have been so devastating. Oh, but look how that turned out, right? So I'm going to invite you to take a breath with me and turn in for prayer. And just in gratitude for the awareness, for the knowing, for the recognition that God is all there is, that there is only one power, only one presence, first cause, back of all things, the divine creative medium that created me, that created all of us, created all of its creation, the source of all, that oneness that is my life and it's the life of each of us. And so very grateful for this knowing and the awareness of this spiritual truth. I speak my word of blessing over all of us. I know that one power, that one presence guides us, holds us, wraps us in its loving arms, and is present everywhere. And so very grateful for this knowing. I speak my word of blessing for our community, for Reverend Sherry, for the greater community at large, for our city, our state, our government officials. And I send prayers out anywhere on this planet where a prayer is needed, where love and peace prevail. And so in thanksgiving for this word spoken, I send us out into the rest of our day, the rest of our week, the rest of our lives, knowing that everything unfolds perfectly, divinely, God's time, God's way. I know that we are divinely guided. I know that we are divinely guarded. I know that we are divinely inspired, as I know we are divinely blessed and we are divinely prospered. And so for the perfect manifestation of this word spoken, I release my word. I release my word in faith. I release my word in trust. And I release my word in truth with a capital T, knowing that it is already done in the one mind. And I say, thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, divine presence. And so it is. Amen.
No doubt, probably all of us here didn't grow up with science in mind. We found it later on, thankfully. And I grew up in a Christian church. I went to a Baptist church, dragged there, actually, when I was a young kid. It's actually good for me. And one thing I sometimes, even though that type of teaching, I guess, doesn't really serve me, I love science in mind. I do love some of the old songs I learned there. This is one of my favorites, and this too speaks of God everywhere. Precious memories, unseen angel, sent from somewhere to my soul. And how they linger ever near me, and the sacred past unfold. Sing along if you know it. Precious memories, and how they linger, and how they ever flood my soul. In the stillness of the midnight, precious sacred scenes unfold. Precious Father, loving Mother, fly across the lonely years, and old home scenes of my childhood in fond memory appear. Precious memories, how they linger, and how they ever flood my soul. In the stillness of the midnight, precious sacred scenes unfold. I remember a mother praying, father too on bended knee. The sun is sinking, shadows falling, but their prayers still follow me. Precious memories, how they linger, and how they ever flood my soul. In the stillness of the midnight, precious sacred scenes unfold. Precious memories fill my soul.
Thank you, Reverend Glenn, for bringing the country feel to our service today.
Always. I do not do show tunes. Nothing from Frozen, okay? I got asked that one time going, I can't do that.
No show tunes.
The
no
guitar
rock
does
and
not
roll,
play
huh?
that. No.
I want to thank our speakers today. Thank you so much for sharing yourselves with us, a piece of yourself. Thank you for your consistent spiritual stability of prayer and holding the truth for our community. We would not be who we are if it weren't for you and Reverend Sherry. So thank you so much. And once again, Elena, thank you for stepping up, and we welcome you to our core. Okay. This is our conscious giving time, the time where we participate in the divine law of giving and receiving by giving of our tithes and offerings. We invite you to join us in this practice, this sacred practice of tithing here at CLF, because as you tithe, CLF also tithes. We are a tithing church. And we tithe to local nonprofit organizations that are serving our communities and making a real difference in the lives of real people, like our second quarter tithe recipient, Tiger Mountain Foundation. And I think it was actually requested by Elena, wasn't it? Thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. And every quarter, we're looking for other tithe recipients. You can find a form to put in your request on our website. So if you know of a local nonprofit organization that you believe and that you feel we would really love to connect with by giving of our opulence, please let us know. Tiger Mountain Foundation cultivates better communities through co-op gardens in Phoenix. So they're busy feeding us healthy food. Thank you, Elena, for bringing that to our attention. If you're online, you can click the donate button on our website or on our Facebook page, or you may also use your cell phone to text to give. That number for text giving is 844-941-4360. For in-person giving, our usher will now make her way forward as we sing I Trust in God, being led by Reverend Glenn, and the lyrics are on the screen.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I'm grateful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God. I'm grateful, so grateful. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I trust in God. I trust in God.
And if our usher will come forward, we will say our blessing for the offering. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God, and so it is. Thank you, Janet, for your service today and always. Okay, it's time for our announcements. So you're going to have to tolerate me today instead of Nicole Jordan. Just so you know, Reverend Jorge has been gone on vacation. He's actually out of the country. So that's why it's a little bit different the way we're doing things. And Reverend Sherry is actually in California, and she is visiting her lovely daughter. So I know she's having a wonderful time. We love you, Reverend Sherry. We miss you, and we're glad that you're able to spend time with your daughter. Yeah. So I want to give you a reminder that we offer midday meditations Monday through Friday at noon on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. And we also offer a pre-service meditation on Sundays at 9:30. For our midday meditations, I also want to once again thank Elena Larner because she is joining us for that as well. Typically, it's been done by myself and by Reverend Jorge. So we're so pleased that you're joining us on this too. We mustn't forget our Monday practice with Reverend Jorge at 6:30 p.m. Again through Facebook and YouTube. Get your spiritual practice assignment for the week inspired by Sunday's service. Stay connected and supported with your CLF family and join Reverend Sherry every Tuesday as she hosts a Community Care Connection Zoom meeting at 6:30. This week, Reverend Sherry will be leading us in life's purpose visioning. This is a very powerful process that reveals more and more the more you do it. Visioning is a spiritual practice that aligns you to possibilities for your life. Join us Tuesday and open up, surrender, and catch God's vision for your life. The Ernest Holmes book study is underway, and they are reading Your Aladdin's Lamp, True Stories About Life's Hidden Power. Grab your copy from Amazon and enjoy these warm personal stories of people who knew of this power and used it consistently and consciously. Then drop in via Zoom this Saturday from 10 to noon. You can drop in any Saturday for all of our book study gatherings that, as was mentioned today, is continuing from book and book and book. There's a plethora, an opulent amount of books to be studied from Ernest Holmes. You can find this information for all of our events, whether they're in person or online, under our events on Facebook or in your weekly newsletter. Okay. It's been a wonderful day. What a wonderful treat for Practitioners Sunday. We have this every year at June, don't we? Yeah, yeah. Okay, don't forget to use the supply for treatment. It's in our Science of Mind textbook on page 262, or if you're in person, you can pick up a paper copy out on the welcome desk. Um, if you're live streaming, you can use the link in the comments or click on the button on our website for this particular treatment for supply, which is our community prayer. Continue to connect with each other, whether you're in person or online. To be a community means to be connected. So let's reach out, say hello, share the love. Fellowship today is consider connecting with each other in person here by going right across the hall to Tatum Lounge. I believe Fran will be there, okay, for fellowship after the service and share the love. Practitioners are available for prayer immediately after service. You don't need to walk around with a heavy heart. That's what they do. That's what they love doing. And so today we have the three of them here today, and you can join them over in the corner, one of them over where Elena is, or they can find other spaces for you. But like I said, don't walk around with a heavy heart. We also have a prayer box out on the welcome table. You can fill out the information. It's private, put it in the box. That's given to the practitioner core, and they pray over it for 30 days. If you're not in person, you can use our prayer at Creative Living Fellowship. Send an email with your prayer request, and all we ask is that you put on the title line, subject line, prayer request. Once again, that will be prayed over by the practitioner core for 30 days. And watch miracles happen. They do happen through prayer. Okay, now I'd like to invite everybody to stand for our affirmation. You will see it on the screen, so please repeat with me. Something wonderful is happening in my life right now. I know it, I sense it, I feel it, I accept it, and I thank God for it. And so it is. Thank you, God, and we'll have more, right? And now join us as Reverend Glenn leads us in our closing song, Let There Be Peace.
think we all know this one, so let's all join together a little a cappella. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as our creator. Families all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment, peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Good job.